We will work on homework 4, and we will start with the first problem of homework 4, which is odd or even. And we are asked to write a program that prompts the user for an input, which is an integer. And the program is going to display either the input is odd or the input is even, depending on the type of that, or whether the integer that is entered by the user is odd or even. And we are given a hint here that says consider using the mod operator. And we talked about this in the class and how to use this. So let's get started. So a new project, and let's navigate to homework 4, and then we would call this cause. Then we would have our new class. Let's call it odd or even. All right. So here I'm going to mix everything here, and make this a main method. String args. All right. So here we are given, or we are supposed to prompt the user for input. So here, the first thing that says that write a program that prompts the user. So prompts the user means that we need to scan the input, and to scan the input, we need to import the scanner class so we can create a scanner object. So here, import java.util.scanner, and then the first thing that we can do here is to create our scanner. Let's call it kb is equal to new scanner object, and here we are going to call that constructor and link this to system.n, and now we have a scanner that we can use. So to prompt the user, this means we have to print a message that we don't have to, but it actually makes sense that we print a message to the user that says what are we expecting from them. So here, for example, enter an integer value. Oops. All right, so this is a message that is going to print this, and then we would like to take that input and store it in an integer variable. So we are going to create an int. Let's call it the user input is equal to, and we will use the scanner object kb and read the next integer, and that's it. All right, so now we got the input from the user. Now what we want to do next is to decide whether this is an odd or an even number. And if you remember, we said that one way to do this is to check the remainder of the operation or dividing that number by 2. Why is that? And I'm going to use here this part. I'm not going to write Java code now, but I'm just going to use it to explain. So for example, if we are given 1 divided by 2, what is this? This is going to be 1, or 0, with remainder of 1, because we cannot divide 1 by 2. Then 2 divided by 2, that is 1, remainder 0. 3 divided by 2, that is 1, remainder 1. 4 divided by 2, that is 2, remainder 0. So you will notice here it will keep toggling between 1 and 0. If it's odd, it leaves a remainder of, or it gives a remainder of 1. If it's even, like 2 and 4, it's going to give you a remainder of 0. Now this means if we check for the remainder part, if it's 1 it's odd, if it's 0 it's even, then this means we need an operation that gives us actually the remainder without considering that division part. All right, so in this case, this is the mod operator. So something like this here, if you do 1 mod 2, that just gives you the remainder, which is 1. All right, and the same goes here. If I say 2 mod 2, that's a 0, and so on. So that's why the hint says use the mod operator. All right, so now we know what we are looking for. What we are saying is that if the user input mod 2 is equal to 0. And since we are saying equal to 0, we are asking if it's equal to 0, then we have to say equal. All right, so in this case, system.out.println, and we are going to print a message that says the input is even. All right, because it's 0. Now we can check and say else. In that case, we would just print that this input is odd. Compile, run. The input is even. If we enter 4, let's run again. The input is odd. Alright, so this is how it works. One thing to think about, what if I added this instead? And we discussed this in the class. Alright, so here, if I say that this is equal to 1, it's odd. If it's 0, it's even. Would that work or not? And is this an efficient way to do it if it works?